Hi, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Ray, and today I'm just going to be recording by myself. We're going to do this every now and then where I record an episode on my own, just to switch it up a little bit. So there's no Wally for today. So buckle up, because it's just me and you. Mano y mano. I hope you're ready. So last night I was showering, and as I was showering, I slipped, and I almost fell in the shower. It was the most terrifying moment in my entire life. I felt the soul almost leave my body, and I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna land on my neck and die. But thankfully, I caught myself. I caught myself in the walls, and I survived. I had a near-death experience. I made it through because I'm a survivor, and it's awesome that I'm still here and able to record this episode. So 2019 is here. One of our New Year's resolutions, Wally and I, is to travel a little bit more, and so we bought tickets to go to Greece, and we're gonna be in Greece the next in February, between February and March, the end of February and the beginning of March. We're gonna be in Greece for Wally's birthday. Specifically, we're gonna go to Santorini, Athens, and some other place that I can't pronounce, and I'm not gonna try to even attempt it. But it's in Greece, and we're gonna be there for a week, and it's gonna be awesome. And I don't know if you guys ever been out of the country. I mean, I'm not talking about driving to Orlando or going to another state. I'm talking flying out of the country. It's such a magical experience because you get to see other people in their natural habitat, other individuals that were brought up in different cultures. You see them in their natural habitat. Like, you always watch shows or something, about, like, for example, we went to Italy. Wally and I went to Italy for our honeymoon, and I've never traveled to Europe before until after I got married. It was the first time I actually did any real traveling, and I had this preconception about Europeans, because I always picture them, really tall and really skinny, and wearing tight jeans and drinking coffee all the time and smoking cigarettes. And what I found out is that all of that is true. That's a very accurate depiction of the standard European. We went to Italy. We stayed in Rome, and what you picture Rome to be is what Rome is. No, it's a beautiful place, and if you haven't done any traveling, I suggest you get a ticket. You buy a ticket, and you get your ass on a plane, because you're missing out on a lot. It opens up your mind, and it's great. So if you haven't traveled out of the country to a different continent, I strongly suggest you do that at least once before you die, because it's a lot. It's a mind-opening experience. And one thing I noticed is that with traveling, I realize how bad I am at planning anything, packing anything. I'm the worst at packing anything. For example, like I pack like when she packs, she has all her stuff ready to rock and roll. She has like 20, 30 different outfits. And when I pack, I just bring 2 t-shirts, 1 pair of jeans, and like 50 pairs of underwear. Like, if I'm gonna be shitting myself all day, every day for the next week. And most of the time, I only wear like 1 pair of underwear. And I brought all these extra pairs of underwear for no reason. And that's how I pack, because I have an innate fear of shitting myself on the trip, or dropping something and it's seeping through the pants. Because I'm fine with wearing a pair of jeans over and over again, but I'm not fine with wearing the same pair of underwear over and over again, because I just don't trust myself enough. I just don't trust myself enough to wear the same pair of underwear twice. So I had to learn how to pack, because my methodology to packing is the worst on planet Earth. And I developed a system, and I'm going to share that system of packing with you guys today, because you're going to need this. Trust me. Number one, you always want to have personal hygiene products. That's your toothbrush, deodorant, hair gel, whatever it is you're going to be using. And definitely bring wipes, the wet wipes for the bathroom after you relieve yourself for cleanliness, because it's better than the cheap paper that they have in Europe. They have that cheap paper that if you use it, your fingers are gonna tear through the paper, and you're gonna have dookie on your finger, and nobody wants that. And then so that's personal hygiene. Anything you can think of: floss, combs, pretty much anything that involves personal hygiene. Next thing is clothes. Obviously, you're gonna have to wear clothes. You can't walk around naked, and you have to bring the appropriate clothes. For example, we're gonna go to Greece, and it might be cold while we're there, so we're gonna have to bring some kind of warm type of clothing, and so we need to bring jackets and coats and things like that. And so bring the appropriate clothes, bring enough clothes, don't bring too much clothes. It's like rocket science traveling. It really is like rocket science. And what else? Shoes. You definitely need to bring the right pairs of shoes. You don't want to bring some kind of flat-footed shoes, because your feet, you're gonna be walking around all the time. Europeans walk a lot. They walk a lot, and they walk for miles. Like if it's like 1781, and there's no mode of transportation. But that's also a lie, because there's people riding scooters. Europeans love to ride scooters, love to ride Fiats. There's a lot of Fiats out there, and Alfa Romeos, and so bring the right pair of shoes, because you're gonna be doing a lot of walking. Most likely, more often than not, you're gonna walk a lot. When we were in Italy and in Spain, we went to Spain also. We did a whole bunch of walking, and my feet were like tired out. It felt like they were just beat up by Mike Tyson in his prime, and my feet were just swollen. I remember that. And what else, man? You're gonna definitely bring some form of entertainment. So whether that is your phone, a book, maybe some puzzles, a drawing, coloring book, whatever, because there's absolutely no Wi-Fi, compatible Wi-Fi, and no signal when you're there. So it's like, for example, when we were in Italy, the only place we had Wi-Fi really was in our hotel. We stayed at the W, and even then the Wi-Fi wasn't that good. It would go in and out. So bring some kind of entertainment, some form of entertainment, because you're gonna be busting your own balls trying to figure out what to do with your life. I was there doing push-ups like if I was in a prison, on our downtime. So like I mean, on the plus side, I got a good chest developed in Italy because I did a lot of push-ups. And another thing that it was pretty cool. Me and Wally I don't know if they're gonna make this what do you call it, tradition, where we get a tattoo wherever it is we go. So for example, when we went to Italy, it wasn't Italy. We got tattoos done in Italy. So we plan on doing tattoos in Greece. Small tattoos, simple. That would be a dope thing to do. So I think you should create a tradition that you do every time you go to a different country or a different place on the planet, just to spice things up. Spice things up. Put some sriracha sauce over it, over your life. Spice it up. Do something different. Make new traditions. But speaking of sriracha, I have the strong inclination that someone at my job is consuming my sriracha sauce, because it doesn't make sense for it to be gone. Like for example, I was on vacation for a week last year. When I got back, I realized that like a quarter of the sriracha sauce is gone. So that means someone has to be using my sriracha sauce, and I have a suspicion of who it is, but I'm not going to say who it is. But if you do watch this, just know that, or listen to this, just know that I'm onto you. I'm onto you. I'm at the cusp of cracking the code here. And when I do, I'm going to find you. And I have a certain set of skills. What was that? So yeah, man, we're gonna be traveling, and it's gonna be awesome. And the final tip for packing is to make sure that your bags are under the weight limit, because if you have to check your bags, that's like $50 or $60 you have to pay if you check your bags in. So make sure that you plan ahead and you weigh everything out, because if not, you're gonna end up paying 50 or 60 buckaroos to check your bags. And when we were in Italy, that flight was like, when we went we landed in Portugal, and the flight to Portugal is about what, I can't even remember because I'm also bad with time. It was about 12 or 14 hours on a plane for 12 hours, half a day on a plane. And that was really grueling. And I remember on the way to Portugal, there was a group of kids that were in a soccer team that were flying from here to Portugal. I don't know what they were doing. I guess they had some kind of event in Portugal. But they're like 10, 12 years old. And so imagine being on a plane surrounded by 12-year-old kids running around. And they're running through the aisles. I wanted to trip one of the kids and be like, fuck you. And then, but I didn't do that. I didn't do that at all because I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble. And so yeah, man, that's pretty much one of the biggest news. Wally and I are gonna be going to Greece. And on Instagram, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. I asked you guys to ask me a couple questions or bring up any topics that you want me to talk about. And guess what? Some of you guys provided questions, and I thank you guys for answering or providing me with questions. And I'm going to bring up a couple of these questions that were brought up. Let me bring up the page here. Yeah, man, so many things that are going to be doing. Doing improv comedy again. It's going to be great. I'm also planning on doing a bunch of open mics to work on my stand-up. I have a bunch of material written down. I just need to develop it a little bit more before I get up on stage. And it's going to be great, man. It's going to be a great year, very productive year. Last year was figuring out what it is I'm going to be doing. This year, I'm going to be executing my plans, and it's going to be great. Maybe not. It might not work out the way I plan it 100%, but it's going to be close. It's going to be spot on because I'm planning meticulously. I am a meticulous planner. I am when I get into something, I am obsessed. Whatever the topic is, I want to know how something works from the inside out, and it's going to be a great year. So one of the questions here is, what sound or noise do you love? I don't know, man. I love all sorts of sounds. I like the sound of chips. When you first open a bag of chips, that crispy. When you open a bag of chips, Lay's chips specifically, the plain salted original Lay's chips. I love the sound, and I love the sound of crunching on a deliciously salted potato chip. That's great. That's one of the questions. Where will you be in 10 years? That's another question. I don't know. It's a good question. 10 years, a lot can happen in 10 years. A lot can happen in 1 year. I don't know where I will be in 10 years. One thing I know for sure is that I won't be where I am today. I know that for a fact. I don't know. I guess wherever it is I'm headed towards this path that I'm getting on, that I just turned into recently. You know, I just started this whole thing last year. The whole acting and improv comedy and stand-up comedy and writing and developing content. I'm going to be definitely, I'm going to be on this path for a long time, as long as I can. And I want to develop as much as I can as an artist and as a comedian, as an actor. I want to be the best, and wherever that leads me, I guess wherever that leads me within 10 years, that's where I'll be in 10 years. I can't say for sure. Maybe I'll be broke. I don't know. What is your favorite word? That is a good question. All these are really good questions. I like a bunch of different words. Kerfuffle is a good one. Truffle, fuffle, zoinks is a good one. What else? What other questions here? I guess this is the last question here before I start to wrap up here, because this has gone longer than I expected it to. It's crazy how time flies, and you just fill the air with just a bunch of crap. So is there anything that you've always wanted to tell me but haven't? This particular individual here's a good friend of ours, and no, I'm not. I don't think so. I don't think I have anything that I've always, from what I remember, been pretty straightforward with you, particularly, and I'm pretty straightforward for the most part. That is a lie. I'm pretty straightforward for the most part. I like to tell people how it is. That is also a lie. So yeah, I don't think there is anything. And if I did, I think I'd probably tell you to your face. That is a lie. And so I think that wraps up with the questions. I posted this on Instagram last night, and I said I was going to record last night, but I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I said, holy shit, I forgot to record the episode, and that's how life rolls. But we got it done, right? And that's what matters. So thank you for tuning in. Stick around for the next episode where we'll be back, and it's going to be great. So thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.